Hey YouTube, Siamese here. How are we all? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my videos. Just making a little video today about confirmation bias. Now, I've been looking at a lot of my videos, and the videos where I'm just sitting down and talking to you guys are actually getting a lot of views. Ones where I'm walking to the beach or stuff like that aren't getting so many. So I'm seeing that this sort of trend of talking about issues is actually quite trendy and going around. Now, I've been looking at a few things, few videos, and just certain things, and I've come to the realization about views of people. Now, what I'll do is I'll just give a bit of a definition of what confirmation bias is. Okay, now this is according to Wikipedia. I've also observed this in my own life, and I'm sure almost everyone has, but you can't really put a pin on what it is. Now, I've seen a different term for this as well, a different term that it's been coined, but I can't think of it. I tried to search about it because of being in the jail for so long, some things we just forget. The brain's just forgot it because I haven't needed it. More because having to fight for my life basically, and more worried about where food's coming from than anything else. Anyway, so confirmation bias, according to Wikipedia, is the tendency to search for, interpret, favor, and recall information in a way that confirms or supports one's prior beliefs or values. Okay? People display this bias when they select information that supports their views, ignoring contrary information, or when they interpret ambiguous evidence as supporting their existing attitudes. The effect is strong in the desired outcomes for emotionally charged issues and for deeply entrenched beliefs. Confirmation bias cannot be eliminated entirely, but it can be managed, for example, by education and training in critical thinking skills.
I'm not going to talk to you.
I saw a movie the other day on YouTube, or a video on YouTube the other day. By the way, that's my mum in the background there, so she's going to be on YouTube now if she wants to be, or if she doesn't want to be, because I'm not starting the video again. She's just been down the shops. Now, look, what it is I've seen some evangelicus Christian preaching in the street, okay? And he had some Muslims come up to him, and they were very biased against one that was a husband and wife, and the wife was very different to the husband's views of the Prophet Muhammad. Not that is basically like she said, oh, that's not my Muhammad. I'm not going to go into it, but look, it's not your Muhammad, it's not my Muhammad, it's nobody's Muhammad, because he was a prophet from God. If you believe he was a prophet from God. It's the same with, Jesus. Now, I identify myself as really not nothing anymore. Come to the realization that it's not really that good to identify yourself as a certain religion. I've become more open-minded because I've been exposed to the Buddhist religion or way of teaching for quite a while, that I've come to the realization that Buddhism is actually really peaceful, and people don't hold on to conflict. And not one thing about the Christian thing that we are taught is about forgiveness. Now, the Buddhists are that far past that forgiveness point is nothing in the past they look at, and they only look at the future, and they only look at what is now, and not having any regrets or basically like misconception or a prior view of that person. They will forgive you instantly and move on. Now, the Western world, this is definitely not how it is. And you can see that all over the world with imprisoning this, people as well, is some people just make mistakes and they just get thrown in prison. Now, I'm not talking about super violent crime or repeat offenders and stuff like that. I'm talking about just petty, either blue collar crime, white collar crime, or something like that. Now, my argument here is that now I have basically changed to Buddhism, but I still worship. Will you say worship, but still believe in Jesus. I more see Jesus as more of a prophet than the Son of God. Now, I'm basing that more on the Bible, where it was written, what was it, 40 or 50 years after the New Testament I'm talking about, was written after Jesus' death, which was basically like people forgot about him and then just wrote this stuff afterwards, as they do by carbon dating or however they're dating it, which, look, how can we be sure? Basically, with the religion thing, I say that we can't... Oh, sorry, guys. Knocked over my phone. I haven't got a holder for it. We can't really say for sure who is right. We can't say for sure what there is, because all our religions are based on faith. And faith is just a belief system that we believe there is something afterwards. Now, I've experienced spirits or ghosts or whatever you want to call them. I've personally experienced them, seen them, had many things like that. And my dad actually says that I have the sixth sense because of this. Now, where am I going with this? What I'm saying is, like, I believe there's something there more on the basis that I've seen the afterlife, or whatever you want to call it. But then I'm sort of leaning towards, well, I'm not saying I'm a Christian or a Buddhist or anything, and it's more going back to something my dad told me, which actually come from my grandfather, I'm pretty sure, about he was talking to one Raman in India, and he said there is many paths to the same. So you have all these paths, Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Islamic or Buddhist, Muslims. Now these paths all lead to the one absolute God. Now, if you've got Hindus, now they praise many different gods. And then you've got ancient religions like the ancient Romans, which had many different gods as well. But we're more so on this, the main world is on a singular God. Now, if you go to like Christianity, they say that now Jesus, is he God, or is he the Son of God, or is it an interpretation of how we interpret the Bible? And I think that's one of the things, is people interpret things differently. So with that being said, is I keep an open mind, and if I like to basically take a little bit of this religion, a little bit of that religion, and basically base my beliefs or my understanding, more like, of what religion is. Now, this is more keeping an open mind, and this going back to this confirmation bias, is my confirmation bias is very low, because I just keep an open mind. And if I are presented with a new way of teaching or thinking, that I will then accept that, even though, like, so it's really, I'm saying is like, don't hold on to these core beliefs, and just be open to other things. Now, my main thing is on this for religious stuff that then can cause holy wars, can cause all the stuff we're having between Muslims and Christians, so-called Muslims bombing people and terrorism and all this sort of stuff. These people, look, every religion teaches not to hurt one another, not to kill, not to murder, not to many other things. There's just too many things. And even the Muslims, no matter what type you are, they're taught not to kill someone, the same as a Christian. And not only that, the Old Testament is basically, it is the same as the first parts of the Quran. They have Moses, they have Jesus in their Quran, they have many things. So it's very, very close, and it's stemming from the same thing. Now, Christianity stems from Judaism, or the Jews. Yeah, this is before that. And then you've got all the way back to the ancient Egyptians. So you've got to look at that whole broad spectrum of information. If you're just taking one little part, it's kind of like a part of it. And it's almost like a history book. So it's really not good for people to be in this thing of I'm this religion or I'm that religion. So my video today is more on religion, and not only that, on what I want to talk about also is on wars. Now, these endless wars. Now, America, obviously, are the fuel of all these wars. They're the ones that have all these armed treaties, have all these armed sales, guns, weapons, whatever, bombs. They're endless bombing, endless wars in the Middle East and in all the third world countries, as you would say. And I think part of the reason why they are third world is because of America. Now, we need to stop this stuff, not just for humanity's sake, but for life as we know it on Earth. We cannot keep up with the wars because you're using resources. Now, these resources can be used for so many other good things. And we're all about sustainability now. We're all about saving the environment, cleaning our environment, getting rid of all these plastics and toxins and nuclear waste and all this other stuff. Now, a big part of it is war. We are just wasting resources, human life, animal life. You can imagine how many even just insects are dying from anything. It's just insane. It's not just humans. Okay, we're not the only thing on this earth. There is many other life forms on this earth, and we need to acknowledge that and put them on a higher level of thinking of, well, we're killing not just humans bombing these places, but we're destroying entire habitats for all the animals that live there. And we all rely on each other, an ecosystem. If we did not have any animals, then, take for instance the bee. If we didn't have the bee, there'd be so many, I think it's like 80 different species of plants and vegetables and fruits that we wouldn't have because you couldn't create pollination. You need the bee to pollinate. So if you don't have the bee to pollinate, and we're putting all these pesticides everywhere and destroying the environment, and it's in turn killing the bees, like all these crops, the GMO, the genetically modified crops, these things that an insect eats the corn and it dies. Well, that's got to be bad for your freaking health as well. It's got to be bad for taking it yourself, and it's also killing the insect population, which on a level which we really don't understand what we're doing. So these endless wars need to stop. And coming back to that, another thing why I've opened with the confirmation bias is because we need, as a human race, to stop putting these people that go to war for us and fight for us, which is crazy. We don't have to fight for anyone anymore. Yes, okay, you had Hitler and he wanted to take over Europe, he wanted to take over the world. He's a complete psychopath, basically, which you can't have that power. You've got to let people live their own lives. And it's a case of we need to stop the people that are going to war for us, as they say, as heroes. we have to start looking at these people as legal murderers. Because if you're killing someone in the field, how is that any different in a battlefield? How is that any different to killing someone in normal society? Now, they're immune to this. They can just shoot someone, kill someone, bomb someone, whatever, torture them, all these other things, killing civilians. There's so much stuff out there. Why is it acceptable if we stop joining the armed forces? Okay, now I'm not talking about the sides of the armed forces that are not going to war, that are rebuilding places or fixing things or helping the community. This is excellent. We should have the armed forces to help build communities and build a better world. And we need to look at it more of, we have these borders with every country. It's like, we are all humans. We all ultimately want the same thing, and that's love and peace. And this is what we're preached. But this is just not how it is. So what we need to do is see these people as not heroes and, oh, they died for us, or they fought for us, and this is crazy. We need to put these people as, no, well, they are murderers and they have willingly signed up. I'm not talking about World War II and stuff like this, where you got ones where they are forced to go and stuff like this, but we're now in a time where we don't need any wars anymore. We all have established borders. We all have things where we should, okay, you have the Palestinians with the Israelis. Now, I've just seen a video on that with they're sitting down and talking. They want to resolve this. And they said their ultimate thing is they really both want the same things, the fundamentals of the same things. It's just that they both have different views of the last 100 years. But ultimately, everybody wants love and peace. That's it. And that's what we need to do, is stop joining the Army, the Air Force, and the Navy. Stop it. The governments themselves are not fighting. You see the presidents or the prime ministers or the cabinet members, the MPs, the members of parliament, out there on the battlefield fighting? No, it's the civilian. It's you and me that join up, train, then we go to war, regardless of what it's for. We don't even know these people personally, and then going and killing and bombing. And now you've got to the point where you're taking the human element out of it and going to drones and robots and stuff like this. Now this is extremely dangerous. You're getting to a point where you don't even need humans anymore. We need to stop this. We need to stop this. And I think the way to stop it is not just protesting, but stop putting the people that go to war as heroes. They're not heroes. They're murderers. And we need to stop it by telling them, no, we do not need these remembrance days. We do not need these Anzac days. We don't need this stuff to show that, oh, this is a hero, and give them medals and put them up as, they're so good. No, they're not. They're not good. And this is what I'm really going to get flack for because of this confirmation bias. We need to change the critical thinking of how we see the people that go to war. We need to stop seeing them as people that helped us, and they're people that are actually destroying the world. Now, this is a very different view of anything that I have seen or heard, because I've come to a realization that that's what we need to do. So the way to stop it is just stop. Everybody, please put this video around, because we need to change the fundamental thinking of what we see as our armed forces. We can't protest and go in the streets about this. It's not going to work. The governments are making too much money. The elites are making too much money on arms sales and everything else to be able to stop them. So the way to stop it is stop fighting for them. If there's no one fight their wars, I'm sure the prime minister or the president of a country or whatever, these people that are pushing, and these elites that are pushing these agendas, are going to go out on the battlefield and fight their own battles. They're just not. They're just not going to do it. They need civilians. They need people that are stupid sheeple that follow their system. If we do not follow them, how are they going to fight? Because they're not going to fight their own battles. So it's we as a community, as a world community, are the problem. And that's what we need to stop the blame on the government and put the blame on ourselves and say, well, look, we are putting these people up as heroes. And not only that, the people that have joined the armed forces, that are fighting for us, they need to stop. Everyone needs to stop. The people that are already in there, quit. Get the hell out of it. Get the hell out of the government. Get the hell out of all the armed forces, the Air Force, the Navy, the Army, and go to a different job. Go to something where we are not fighting for profit on these endless wars that are never going to stop. If we do not change the fundamentals of society, it won't ever stop. We will never come to a peace and love society. It just won't happen. The other thing is we need to realize that humans, basic needs of a human are the same. Exactly the same. We all need food. We all need water. We all need shelter. We all need our emotions are the same. It doesn't matter where you're from or what religion, what background, what culture you come from. The fundamentals of human life is the same. And that's what we need to realize. Okay, look, I'm going to close it there because it's 21 minutes long. I'm sure a lot of people are not going to watch this long. I hope everybody can watch to the end and share this around. I'm going to try get this around as much as I possibly can. My videos are sort of getting, sort of 200 or 300 views on a couple of videos. So thanks for watching, guys. Please comment down below. Please give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. Up to you guys, okay? I'm not that YouTuber that says like my videos. Okay, I say this, but if you don't like my videos, I want to hear it. I want to hear you guys' opinion on what I'm talking about. I really need it. I am not offended by any biased view or anyone saying this or that. That's what we need to do. We need to open the conversation and find a solution. And by talking and opening the world, we are in a world where we have information like never before. We can talk to anyone around the world whenever we want for free now, basically, or very cheap because you just get a bit of data. You can get free. You go to connect to a free Wi-Fi and you can then talk to someone free. So we are in a world of information. We need to use this internet for good. We need to use this internet for helping the world. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, stay beautiful, okay? Stay true to yourself. And peace out from Siamese Fighter. Laters, guys.